I'm going to ask for an helicopter. Sorry if I will leave after my speech, but I had to fly. So, thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies. Today we are witnessing an alarming increase in violation of international humanitarian and human rights law in situation of armed conflict. Although all states have the responsibility to protect their population from genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity, and ethnic cleansing, a growing number of people is still exposed to and suffer mass atrocity crimes for different reasons. Since the 90s, the protection of civilians has become a central element of the mandates of many peacekeeping missions. Today, the priority task of more than 95% of peacekeepers is the protection of civilians. Indeed, peacekeeping is still a very powerful instrument at the disposal of the international community in the pursuit of sustainable peace and the fulfillment of its responsibility to protect civilians from mass atrocities. Allow me to mention Security Council Resolution 1975 of 2011 on the situation in Ivory Coast, which authorized the UNOCHI to use force to prevent the use of heavy weapons against the civilian population, thus helping to end atrocities and stabilize the country. We should admit that peacekeeping faces some challenges and constraints, and sometimes it does not fully meet the expectation of the people who look at the United Nations for help. This should prompt all of us, member states, troop contributing countries, police contributing countries, UN Secretariat, sub-regional organizations, to redouble our efforts to enhance the capability of peacekeeping to be fit for purpose, more effective and efficient. Italy, one of the main troop and financial contributors to peacekeeping and one of the first signatories of the Kigali Principles on the protection of civilians, will continue to play its part. 2 days ago, we joined Secretariat General Guterres and many world leaders in the high-level event on the Action for Peacekeeping initiative, and we committed to strengthening UN peacekeeping. Italy immediately supported all the reforms, initiatives, and measures initiated by Secretary General Guterres to that end, starting from sustaining peace to the reform of the UN peace and security architecture and its management, to the circle of leadership and the voluntary compact on the prevention of and response to sexual exploitation and abuse in United Nations operations. Our experience as a troop contributing country proved to us the crucial importance of appropriate pre-deployment and in-mission training, including on human rights and international humanitarian law, protection of civilians, sexual and gender-based violence, protection of children in armed conflict, and R2P. This is why our training centers, in particular COESPU, are committed to offering modules on those subjects. Adequate equipment and enablers, as well as technology, are also key to protecting civilians, besides increasing the safety and security of peacekeepers and humanitarian actors as appropriate. The use of unmanned aerial vehicles in MONUSCO, for example, has improved the gathering of information and provided enhanced situational awareness of threats and challenges on the ground, thus increasing the capabilities of the mission in implementing its mandate. As you know, Italy served as non-permanent member of the Security Council in 2017. Cognizant of the specific role of the Council in shaping peacekeeping operation mandates, devoted special attention to streamlining and adapting them to the developments of the ground, prioritizing tasks and including the protection of civilians among the priorities. We also promoted the inclusion of gender advisors and women protection advisors, since they can enhance PKO early warning capabilities. We welcomed regular debates in the Council on the threat of atrocity crimes, also through briefings from heads of PKOs. Peacekeeping missions have first-hand information on the situation on the ground. Therefore, they could be one of the early warning mechanisms at our disposal and activate the Council in advance, thus preventing violence and atrocities. Let me conclude by stating that we have two means to prevent and stop mass atrocities. But we also need the political and practical will to act to that end. Thank you.
Molto grazie, Minister, and I hope you have a safe flight. Well, first of all, that you make the flight, and secondly, that you have a safe flight home. I now give the floor to our other co-host, His Excellency Sultan bin Saad Al Muraiki. Sorry, my Arabic is very poor.
I just love when the Italians speak in English. My statement is going to be in Arabic, so I think you need your headphone.